Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Whether you're watching us live on YouTube at TradeEZ or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we've got you covered. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, I'm Stephen Kalajian and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, today was a really calm day, actually, believe it or not, even though we got a really big push down in the early morning and then we rallied 100 handles on the S&P. We rallied probably north of about 450, 500 points on the NASDAQ futures off the low that we got probably around the 11:30 this morning, this early in the morning, late morning time period. So when I came into today, and I'm going to show you, the first thing I said to everybody was, if we make any push down today, any push down below the lows from yesterday or near the lows of yesterday, right, I'm backing up the truck. There were nothing but buy divergences on the 30 and 60-minute time frames, on the spiders, on the Qs, on the diamonds, and I'm going to show this pattern to you. These patterns are so powerful. When you can get and identify these divergence patterns, they are monsters. And all my strategies are predicated on divergence strategies. So that's it. Whether it's a buy divergence or a sell divergence, we caught long, beautiful buy divergences early in the morning on MSTR around the 272. MSTR, boom, up over 35 points today. Coinbase, beautiful buy divergences. So when the S&Ps were trading this morning around the 57, 55, I think 53 range, something like that. The first thing I did was I went to the daily chart again, which I knew already. And at that point, we were $21, $22 away from the 10-bar weighted moving average. I said, this is exactly why I was bullish, because the standard deviation is 5 and we were 22. Microsoft today up 12. When Microsoft was trading early this morning below the, I believe it was the 387.5, 388, Microsoft was 21 points away from its daily 10-bar weighted moving average. The standard deviation on Microsoft is about, I would say about 4.5, 5, just say 5. It was 21. So when you see these aberrations and they're up and they're down, remember Palantir was trading around the 125 level, and I said it's like a 747 just floating up in air with no fuel. It was just boom. Palantir dropped from 125 all the way down to 78 and 78.56. So just say it dropped, 41 and 40 cents off the highs, almost $42 off the highs, right? The high was 125.41. I don't forget when SMCI was trading 66.40. Okay, SMCI was trading, I think, a couple of days ago, 34, 35, 36, down 30 plus. Okay, so when you get these aberrations, and you get these aberrations in the market, you need to take advantage of it, right? And so this morning, the first thing I do when I walk through this door, I already knew the patterns in my head because I left here last night late. I said, if they push down, I'm looking at the spiders and the Qs. If they push down tomorrow, back up the truck. And that's what I told some big hedge funds this morning. Don't be selling. I wouldn't be selling on the lows. I'd be looking to buy everything. Okay. I think I had one little scalp short here along the way here. Took some shorts on the highs when they were getting extremely overbought on the 30 and the 15-minute time frames. The Qs dropped a bunch of times, but the drops set up long patterns. We got some big buy reversals, and I'm going to show you on the Qs today on the 30-minute time frame in that 240 buy pattern. The NASDAQ futures lifted probably about 100 handles after that. The Qs rallied about 250. So again, these patterns repeat themselves, and what do, right? We were very, very patient. One person in my community made over close to $34,000. Yesterday, one person made $98,000 with me, and I'm so happy that people are doing well. People have different account sizes. It doesn't make a difference. But for me, it's all about one thing, being consistent and learning the strategies, understanding why we're doing things and and how to apply it, And I'll tell you, if you could conquer this, this will change your life. All I ask people to do is just do the work, put the time in, and guess what? You will be successful. If you could just apply and understand, ask questions. Nobody's going to get this out of the gate. Nobody's going to get this out of the gate. Okay. And the point is that if you just take the time, this is not a journey. This is a journey, not a sprint. Okay. It's not a sprint. If you think you're going to come in here and you're just going to get blown up. Okay. That's why I ask anybody who joins my community to talk to me first. Let me just, I know it sounds crazy, but I talk to everybody. But I want to be able to get a good feeling and a good understanding of where you are, and then what you're struggling with. And then I take all that and I set a plan. And the same plan applies for everybody. It's like taking a ladder and leaning it against the house. Boom. You take the first step, the second step, the third step, all the way to the 10th step. Once you hit that 10th step, I'm not saying you're going to be a 10, but you'll be a solid 8, 8.5, maybe 9, if you really put the work in. And trust me, I have people who live and breathe this like I do. And guess what? They are on that 8th and 9th step. Okay. All right. So what I want to show you here is the buy divergences to start the show off, my podcast here off. And these patterns are so powerful. And I said, and I wrote it, and I'll read what I wrote. I said that, the pattern this morning here, I said, if we get another push down near the lows or anywhere near the lows, I expect another rally off the 30 and 60-minute time frames, off the buy divergences, and that push down should be short-lived, and expect another monster rally. Now, this rally, believe it or not, was very calm. It wasn't boom, 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 boom like we saw yesterday, up 400 handles, just dropping 107 points and 400 on the Nasdaq futures from 325 all the way to 4 o'clock. That didn't happen today. This was a gradual, nice pullback on the 15 around the 130. S&P's pushed down to the 99.5, 57.99.5, 01 area. Boom, ripped all the way up to 65 on that pattern. Okay, positive MACD, and then at 12:45. When I got the buy reversals on the spiders, I knew the lows were in for the day. The Qs reversed to buy. Everything reversed to buy except the Russell later on. So the diamonds, the spiders, and the Qs reversed to buy. Everything around 12:45, 1 o'clock. Once I got that buy reversal, my indicator 4, I knew that the lows were in for the day. And then I saw something. I said, well, the 15-minute time frame reversed to buy, and I'll show this to you. It correlated with the 60-minute time frame, but the 30-minute time frame was still negative. So I have 2 out of 3 a buy disconnect, right? Guess what? Back up the truck, buy them. Beautiful pattern around 12:30 on the pullback, right into the 10-bar moving average on the Qs. Never look back. S&Ps down to even or maybe 99.5, 57.99.5. Never look back, right? Boom, up and away. So let me show you. There's a lot to show you here. Coinbase was a Picasso, MSTR Picasso. At one point today, Apple was trading below the 229 level, and it just ripped to the upside. There was someone who was short in my community, and I said, if I were you, I would lower your stops or look to cover here. I mean, you have almost a $2.5, $3 profit. Boom, covered near the lows and never look back, and Apple ripped 6. Once the Apple reversed to buy on the 15-minute time frame, again, I knew the lows were in for the day on Apple. It's pure mathematics, and that's what I teach here each and every day, the ability to use my software to enhance your trading and to be consistent. So let me just show you here, okay, what I'm talking about here on the 30-minute time frame and the 60-minute time frame. And I got so much to show you here today. So this is the morning right here. I'll do the spiders, okay? So when the spiders were pushing down here, this is yesterday when they got kabooshed 107. Right here at around 12 o'clock, okay, you can see that the spiders right here were making new lows right here. The S&Ps were trading, I think, the 53 level and 573.08. The guy who sold 573.08, he jumped, okay? So you can see the S&Ps, they ran 100 points, 10 points on the spiders. So when you push down here, the MACDs didn't confirm the low on the 60 and on the and on the 30-minute time frame. And then I take you to the daily really quick. So I knew that this was going to be short-lived. We were deeply oversold on the 30, on the 60. There's no big selling pressure. The ADXs aren't rising. And guess what? They were monster buy divergences. This MACD did not confirm the low. But now let me take you to the daily. When they were trading early this morning, the S&Ps were trading around the 573, SPDRs 573.08. You take this number, let's say 10, okay, and then you take this number here, okay, and you add the 11 to this, you were almost 22, 23 points away from this 10-bar moving average, which is right here, the 10-bar moving average. This number represents the distance from the 10-bar, okay? So when I came in, this is the exact same thing that happened yesterday. 2 days in a row, they rallied 100 yesterday, then they dropped 100, okay? Today, off the highs, they dropped about 20 off the highs, but in the last about 45 minutes. But today, I came in and I said to myself, this pattern is a lot different than the pattern from yesterday. The MACDs were negative yesterday, but we were extremely deeply oversold on the 30, 60, and daily time frames. I said, you know what? They're going to go up from here. The distance from the price to the 10-bar weighted moving average, way out of whack, right? And guess what? We did that. And that was a wild one yesterday. Today, very calm, very orderly, nice pullbacks, beautiful, and I'll show you them. But again, really monster patterns today along the way. We have the employment number coming out on Friday, so that could be wild as well at 8:30 on Friday. But let me show you this other pattern here. So if you look here on the 30-minute time frame, and I'm going to show this to you on the QQQs. First of all, let me just show you the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so the 15-minute time frame, everything reversed to buy right here. Okay, at 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, everything reversed to buy. All right. So at this particular time, the 15-minute and the 60-minute time frame were in buy mode. When the 30-minute, so you have what's called the buy disconnect. When the 30-minute reversed to buy right here at around 3 o'clock, okay, on the Qs, all right, there was a couple really great patterns here. But look at the positive MACD. There's a little buying pressure, nothing out of the ordinary here, right? Okay. But when you get 2 out of 3, and then you look at the pullback here at 240, look at this beautiful pullback right here at 240. Oversold into the positive MACDs on the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame, even though the 30-minute time frame was still negative at around 240 right here. You can see around 2 o'clock, 2:30, right around right here, the MACDs were still positive. So because the conditions switched to a buy disconnect, this beautiful long here around 240. Now everything's set up at 240. Everything, the diamonds, the spiders. If you look at the S&P futures, okay, you can see the spiders as well lined up here at 240, 581, just say 582. Boom, they ran 28 handles on the S&P, or $2.88. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. My trades last anywhere from 1 to 8 bars. It's absolutely pinpointed. So if you're trading a 5-minute, it's up to 40 minutes. On the 3 minutes, up to 24 minutes. On a 15-minute, it's up to 2 hours. Okay. All right. On a 30 minutes, up to 4 hours. Okay. So let me show you Coinbase, actually MSTR today, monster longs. Okay. Monster longs on MSTR. First of all, you can see today, right here, that was yesterday, 30-minute. So coming in, the 30 and the 60-minute time frames were bullish here. Okay. The 30 and the 60s were bullish. Okay. Look at this beautiful pattern. Look, here's 3.5. This is where I was telling you it was trading 72. Okay, I was in my community saying I was jumping up and down like a baboon. Now I'm not gonna stand here and tell you I thought from 72 they're going to go to 310. I'm not going to tell you that. Okay, but what I am going to tell you is that we caught this great long, okay, on the 30-minute time frame, oversold into the rising ADX, positive MACD. This is an absolute Picasso. And if I bring the 15-minute time frame up, you can see. Right? You can see right here, and I'll bring my global crosshairs. At the time, the algorithm was still positive on the 15, 30, and 60. But here's the thing, though. If I bring the 60-minute time frame up, okay, and the 15s, you can see were oversold right here. Okay, you can see that the 15s were oversold right here on MSTR. This is another great long here at 145. They got down to 91. So you had two really great pullbacks on MSTR. This is the first one in the morning right here. Okay, but look at this, oversold into the rising ADX on the 60, positive MACD. This is an absolute Picasso. Look at the second pullback. So normally what you get is you probably get two, maybe three pullbacks on the 15-minute time frame in the course of a day. If you're looking at the 5-minute, you'll probably get 4 to 6 great trades at any given time. But look at this pattern here. Look at MSTR. You got an oversold condition, rising ADX, buying pressure, oversold on the 30, rising ADX. MSTR, if you count the bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ran 8, and eventually kept on raising your stop. It ran, look at that, 20 points on MSTR. This is an absolute Picasso. This is an absolute Picasso right here. And if I show you the 60-minute time frame, you can see the 60. You can see the ADX is rising on the 60, the positive MACD. So when you got this pullback right here, okay, at exactly 145, all right, look at this. This is an absolute Picasso. This is an absolute phenomenal trade. Let me show you Coinbase. Okay, now Bitcoin was only up about 2,700 points. I mean, it was down at one point today below the 87,000 around, probably around noon. Okay, and Bitcoin, I'll show you that great pattern off the 60-minute time frame. So here we go today. We know that the condition on the 60s bullish on Coinbase, the 30s already long here, and then here's today's pattern I was buying the stock at 08.5 down to 06.5. The low, I believe, was 08. You can see here the push down. This is the deep oversold condition right here. I believe it was the right here 208 level. You got deeply oversold on the 30-minute time frame, and look what Coinbase did. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. It ran from 08 to 13 to 23. So it ran about 15 right there. And if you take the 60-minute time frame, you can see the 60, all right, oversold as well. So into the positive MACD. So you had the positive MACDs on the 30 and 60-minute time frame, while the 15-minute time frame got deeply oversold. Absolute Picasso. I'm not saying that I was thinking it was going to run 23, but listen, if it goes from 08 to 12, 13, that's a pretty nice trade. You can look to sell half or raise your stops. But ultimately, there was another great pullback again on the 5-minute time frame on Coinbase, and that happened. See, everything lines up at certain time periods. I've been saying the 240 time period. Look at that, 240 oversold, rising ADX. Look at this. Look at the buying pressure here. Was about 10. Okay, between the blue and the red. Okay, so when you have an oversold condition into the positive MACD, okay, the rising ADX on the 5, 15. 30 and hourly. Well, actually, the hourly wasn't, but the 5:15 and 30-minute time frame. This is an absolute Picasso. You need to understand the strategies. When you see a pullback like that, and I'm like, MACD positive, big buying pressure, rising ADX. Okay. Oh, pullback on the 5-minute time frame, which we use a lot of times for entries and exits, 4 to 6 times a day. Then I look over in the 30-minute time frame, I'm like, wow, MACD positive on both the 60 and the 15s coming from below my pivot line. The ADX is rising on the 30, big buying pressure, on the 15, so on the, on the 30. This is a beautiful pattern, okay? And that pattern went from this pattern, if you count the bars, you could have bought under like 19, 18.5, 19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Look what it did. Boom. Okay. It ran about $3.5, $4. So these patterns repeat themselves each and every day. And this is what I teach each and every one of you. I'm not done yet. I got to show you Microsoft. Microsoft was an absolute monster today. But the one thing about Microsoft, again, everything was orderly today. After yesterday put most people, on heart medicine, right? But guess what? We're not like that. We take the trades, we trade what we see, and we're able to identify the patterns, and we wait patiently for the patterns to set up. Today was very orderly, it was very calm. The moves were very precise when they pulled back, right? There was one trade today where we were short the S&Ps, the Qs, the NASDAQ, and then I don't know, I went to look at NVIDIA really quick, and I saw Apple in my corner of my left eye drop about 90 cents, maybe $1 or something. The Qs dropped from the 499.70 all the way down to 497. The S&Ps dropped all the way down to 01 or even from 29.30. They dropped 30 like that, and then they stayed there for probably about 3 minutes, and then that was it, right back up. So I don't know if it was a Trump tweet or not. Geez, that's a tongue twister. Trump tweet. And if that was, I'm 6 for 6, 2 longs and 4 shorts. So I'm batting 1,000. Boom. Okay. Now, again, these patterns repeat themselves. Everything I do is based upon visualization and repetition, but these patterns are phenomenal. Let me show you Microsoft here. All right. Microsoft had one Picasso after another. Okay. First, what we're going to do, we're going to look at Microsoft on the bigger time frames here. Okay. So coming into the day, I knew that Microsoft, okay, was already bullish on the bigger time frame on the 60, right here on the 30. Look at the positive MACDs. You can see the positive MACDs really just the ADX started climbing towards the end of the day here of like around 1 o'clock. All right. And then we already know that we're in a trend now. The 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frames are all bullish. Okay. All bullish from the lows of a couple of days ago when Microsoft was trading at the 381 level. And now Microsoft has in 2 days has run 20 points from a deep oversold condition, 381 to 401.10. 20 points in 2 days of Microsoft. That's why I say to you, when you get these big aberrations in the market. Now, remember, we're in a bull market. My weekly and monthlies are still bullish, right? So when you see a Microsoft, right, which is, in the S&P 500 and the Dow, and you're seeing it's 22 points from its standard deviation on the daily chart, right? And the standard deviation on Microsoft is 5, and we're 22 or 23 from that price to the 10-bar weighted moving average. No. That's why Microsoft was a steal down there, okay? Now, let's take you to the smaller time frame. So we already know the trend, okay? And if you look at the 5-minute time frames, look at the ADX rising all day. Look at this ADX rising all day, Microsoft. Here's the pullback here. There's 2 pullbacks here. Anyway, so Microsoft, we come in, boom, we're already in a trend. The 5-minute time frame reverses to buy. You buy the first pullback. So the 5 correlated with the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame. This is the first pullback. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Well, 3 actually set up to 15. Okay, 3. Okay, here's 4. Okay, here's 5. And potentially here's 6. Okay, so basically Microsoft had 5. If you didn't want to trade the last 40 minutes, 25 minutes at the end of the day, Microsoft had 5 monster pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame in a trend. Okay, the ADXs were rising on the 15, the ADXs were rising on the 30-minute. It's just normal, and you get the big buying pressure on the 15. The right thing to do when you have ADXs rising on the 15 and 30, you buy the pullbacks on the 5-minute time frame. 5 great longs fits into my research. 4 to 6 great trades a day on the smaller time frame. 2 great nice little pullbacks on the 15. And you can see, just to show you, reading the chart, you can see the yellow dots, which mean that it's the price within the algorithm is into the cayenne, the blue. That means you better not be short. Even though we did take a couple of scalp shorts in Microsoft, okay, on the significant overbought conditions and the distance from the 10 bar, They work, but you have to be able to know how to trade those to the point where you're not going all in. You'd rather play the trend, which is the long for today. You buy the pullbacks. All right. All right. When I come back, I will tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So today I figured that, volatility is going to be here. And today the market really, like I stated earlier, was very calm with the employment number coming out on Friday. I think tomorrow we're going to do the same. There was a period of time that the market just was like flatlining and doing nothing today. And people were just like, oh my God, this is like a horrible day. No. No day is horrible, right? We get frustrated as traders. We want to be able to have volatility, but there was enough on the plate here. Palantir, NVIDIA, okay, the Qs, the spiders, Coinbase, MSTR, Lilly had big buy reversals, all right? Microsoft, monster day. So, this is why I always tell people I look at the same names every single day. And as I told you previously, I jump in stocks like today. CrowdPoint, CRWD, had bad earnings. I didn't trade it, but a lot of people got involved in it. Great patterns in CrowdPoint. So based upon bad earnings. So, every so often I'll get involved in a name based upon earnings, but CrowdPoint's not one of them. I'm not really a fan. Whether I can make money in it or not, it doesn't. I'd rather be looking at, the names like Avago, Palantir, AMD, names like that, right? And so for me, the most important thing is to be able to recognize the trades and what I'm looking for the moment, for the day. I'm very patient. I'm waiting patiently for the patterns to set up. But what I'm looking for tomorrow is the fact that at the end of the day, the Qs reverse to buy on the 30, as is the spiders reverse to buy on the 30-minute time frame, and the 60-minute time frame reverse to buy. So if we do get any type of pullbacks tomorrow on any deep oversold conditions, all right, most likely on the 15 and maybe on the 30-minute time frame, I'm a buyer. I think tomorrow the lows are in for today, and I don't think the lows from today's Wednesday, from yesterday, the 57.44 level will be violated. I do think if we do pull in tomorrow, we're going to make higher lows, and I would look for buys. I think tomorrow, if you get any type of pullback here on the 30 or 60-minute time frame on Coinbase or MSTR, I think they're going to set up. Remember, we're still 11 to 12 points away from that 10-bar moving average on the daily, and that can maybe get with a number that is favorable for the employment number on Friday. Maybe we get a push back up, and that push up is probably the 59.50 to 6,000, 59.80, all right, where we stalled the last time, 59.97. So with that, I think tomorrow is going to be an orderly day, and I think it's going to be a calm day, and what I'm expecting is pullbacks. If we do get any type of push up, up 30, 40, 50 handles, again, with the MACDs below the pivot, I would be taking scalp shorts because there's really no sell divergences on any of the MACDs on the 15, 30, or 60-minute time frames. All right, so that's what I'm expecting tomorrow. And again, the employment number on 8:30 can have a lot of volatility and market, depending on the number, which way the market is going to go, up or down. When I come back, I had another story to tell you from the past, but something happened yesterday that takes precedence. So I can't wait to tell you this one. I'll be right back. So, when I get home at night, I have a list of all the things I want to talk about, hundreds. I wrote them all down many months ago. And I just sitting one night and started writing all the experiences I've had over the years and the stories. If I ever did a podcast that I want to share with each and every one of you. But then I did a call yesterday with someone that I said, you know what? I got to tell this story, right? So yesterday in my live room, right, in my community, someone asked me about a stock. I'm not going to mention the name. Obviously, I'm not going to mention the person's name or the stock, okay? XYZ. Let's leave it at that, right? And the person says in my Discord and asked me, is XYZ a short? Number one, I can't give investment advice. Number two, I didn't answer it. And I said, when I looked at the stock, I said, I don't know what you're seeing, but I wouldn't be shorting him here, okay? I'm waiting for a pattern, okay, that's not there yet. So Unbeknownst to me, the person shorted the stock. All right. And then around 3:20 in the afternoon, the pattern that I was waiting for, now this was probably around 250, the person asked me if XYZ stock was a short. I said, I don't see it. I wouldn't short it. I'm waiting for a pattern to set up on the bigger time frame. And at 3:15, I saw the pattern and I said, I would look to short XYZ. I think I actually said I would look to short the whole world up here. Okay. And when I say something like that to our community, that means the names I'm looking at, the Microsofts, the Metas, the Apples, the Amazons, the Qs, the Spiders, the Diamonds, right? Coinbase, AMD, whatever I'm looking, index futures, okay? NASDAQ futures, okay? So I said it at 3:15. I said I would look to short them 3:18. I would look to short the world here based upon this pattern. Boom, off the 60-minute time frame. And that's what I was waiting for. So last night I get a phone call and I asked the gentleman and we were talking. I said, how'd you do? He said, on Monday I made a really good day. I made about, several $1,000s. But today I lost several $1,000s. I said, okay, why? He said, well, I was short the stock, and I covered probably around the same time you were saying to look to get short. And I said, okay. And I said, so he said, I gave whatever I made on Monday, I gave back today. So I said, okay, so there's two problems here. Number one, you're here with me from 9:30 to 4 or 9 to 4 in my live room. So it's pretty much, 7 hours, 7 hours. So, all right, plus or minus, let's say if you got in at 9:30, 13 hours. So you really sat in front of a computer for 13 hours with no results. You made money on Monday. You scratched, you lost it, so it's a flat. So working 13, 14 hours just went bye-bye. That's one. Two, right? The person took the trade upon himself, and he has every right to, okay? And it's his money. I can't tell him what to do. But he does not know the system yet. And this is why I tell you what patience is all about. Patience is not just about waiting for the right trade. It's patient to learn. Taking the time to learn, taking the step back, learn from me. Let me guide you. Let me educate you, right? And even when the person asked in my Discord, and I'm not allowed to answer the question, I said, I don't know what you're looking at. I wouldn't short it. I'm waiting for a different pattern. I don't see what you see, right? And then as I'm saying, I would look to short it, short the world up there. He had covered probably a couple minutes before that. But then not recognizing what I'm saying, he didn't go back in and short it. And the stock dropped about $3.50, $4 in that crazy 35 minutes that we had at the end of the day. So I had to tell this story today because, you want to be consistent. You don't want to make $1,000 on a Monday, lose $1,000 on a Tuesday, make $500 on a Wednesday, lose $500 on a Thursday, and lose $500 on a Friday. You're down $500 for the week. I mean, to work the whole week for free. How about taking a step back, listen, learn, watch, and learn, right? That's my message for today, okay? So anyway, thank you for joining me. Please hit the subscribe button. Join my community each and every day. Follow me on X at Steve Kalajian. Sorry, my door is open. I need some air in here. And join my community. Anybody can text me at 914-500-7484. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly.
Thanks for tuning into The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe on YouTube at Trade EZ or on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, Keep trading and stay sharp.